Hello and welcome to Beat 'em Up Wrestling. It's Jack and Maria,
Just
and we
us two.
we are going to talk about Impact Wrestling. Yep.
Woot woot. That was a good episode tonight. Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh
Today
yeah. Oh
today was
yeah.
the night they went up against NXT,
Yeah.
and yeah, they had an Iron Man match on NXT too. So, but we decided to stick with Impact because Tuesdays has become Impact Tuesdays.
Yes. And we didn't want to, be unfaithful to Impact. Like we have some relationship that they know
Yeah.
about.
So we're gonna just jump right in. First thing that we got into was the Sammy Callahan versus RBD with Katie Forbes. Yeah, this has been an ongoing feud.
I mean, for me, I don't mind it. It's just I really don't like Katie Forbes. So like it's super hard for me to get involved in this match because it started off both like last week and this week both started off with RVD and Katie
Yeah,
Forbes. But who did
yeah.
you go against last week? It wasn't Sammy again, was it?
I don't even
I
remember.
don't remember. I don't think it was
But
Sammy
I know that they've had this feud with Sammy Callahan because
for a while.
Sammy ruined Katie Forbes' OnlyFans debut. So yeah, so now RBD's fighting for her honor.
To be fair, those pictures Sammy like put his like face on were actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And what do we have next?
Ah.
We have Wrestle House.
Russell House is awesome. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Like at first I was like, it's just a little too much, But like I was telling you, we were talking about it before we came on here. And it's like, how people are like, oh, I want things to be kayfabe, I want things to be still in character. I'm like, this is legit in character. The whole damn thing. Everybody involved stays in
Yep.
character. They
Yep.
never leaves character. They're all within Russell House. And it's stupid. And tonight was even more stupid, but it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. It started off with Johnny Swinger having to dress up as a clown because he lost to Crazy Steve.
Yep.
He did not want to come out, but then we have Kylie and Susie encouraging him, saying they're not going to make fun out of him. So yeah,
Lies.
I love Wrestle House. I remember when it first came on, I was kind of like, is it going to be too much?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
But I think that it doesn't take itself serious, and it's just having fun. And Tommy Dreamer is amazing in this.
He's ridiculous. What does he say? With like
Match
match time?
time.
Yeah, he's like that crazy uncle
Yeah,
that you're just like, isn't it past your bedtime, Tommy Dreamer? And you're like, but he actually does really make the points of it. I mean, I enjoy
yeah,
it a lot.
yep.
But tonight was stupid. With AC and
Well,
what's his name? Jake's. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead. We'll
we'll
get
get
into it.
into them. But
But it was stupid.
this was just an intro to Wrestle House, the Jimmy Swinger thing. Also, Tommy tells Johnny Bravo that he's going to be the guest referee for the Rosemary and Talia match that will happen later on. Winner
Mhm.
of the Rosemary and Talia match gets to keep Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was a good build-up. I mean, they're friends, and they were just mad, and it's I don't know. They brought it. It was
yeah,
actually played off really well all the way to the end.
yeah.
So
So we'll get to those matches as
yeah.
they come. So then we get Reno Scum, Adam Thorsten, and Luster the Legend versus Rhino. So Reno Scum has been working with Homicide. Rhino actually beat Homicide and took the stack of money. Reno Scum beat Rhino back and took the money back. But now this time, Reno Scum tells Homicide that if they beat Rhino, they want all the money for themselves.
Yeah.
Homicide agrees to it. I think he kind of had a feeling that they were not going to be able to beat Rhino. Reno Scum really thought it was going to be them against Rhino because Rhino last week was trying to get Impact to sign Heath.
Yeah. Of course, they're besties.
Heath for Impact was trending, and so there's no sign of Heath when the match starts.
Mm-mm.
You want to get into it a little bit? What do you think about this build-up?
For me, I know there was a lot of talk on Twitter about it. Like, I want to be more invested with some of these characters. I want to know a little bit more behind them. Like, you get some of the in-ring storytelling, but a lot of the guys are kind of like missing the mark with their, besides Wrestle House, but like so many main players like them. Even our the main match of tonight felt a little lackluster compared to like everybody that's involved in Wrestle House. Even the Rascals match. Well, we'll get into too. Like there's character build up and there's like you're invested in certain people. I need to be more invested in Rhino's people he was fighting against. But I
Yeah,
want
Reno
Heat.
Scum.
Yeah, so like I really do want Heat to be signed. Like that's a storyline I already like because it's something that it's sad to say it's something from somewhere else, but you want it to be brought over into Impact. So for me, like it was, I don't know, like I wasn't that invested into the match, like I said. But it was okay. It wasn't something that was like stand out to me.
Yeah. The most important part of the match was
the ending. Yeah.
Yep.
He does come out.
Yeah, Heath
and
was.
he runs around like he runs ridiculous, like going over like the side of the rail, and he's flailing and stuff like that. Like he really sells like he doesn't know what he's doing at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are building it so that when Heath finally gets the job in Impact, everybody could be happy for him. You know, this has been an ongoing story since we'll say the name WWE with Rhino and Heath. With I Got Kids, there was many times they were trying to fire Heath in WWE. That storyline, they never really capitalized on that whole thing, I feel, and they're bringing that momentum now to Impact. And it was great how they had it because all of a sudden the camera guy like drops the camera. The commentary team like sells it, like what the hell's going on with this camera guy. We find out that it's actually Heath in disguise. He saves Rhino because Rhino was about to get punched with that studded belt. And Rhino is able to gorge Adam and take the victory. So Homicide gets to keep his money. Rhino wins, but then the authority figures come out and Heath has to run, like you said.
And he does it so haphazardly. But I have to go say, like, I like, okay, so comparing to like groups, I like the Best Friends, and they are best friends. But there's something like real brotherly love between Heath and Rhino that I've always enjoyed. And it's one of those things where it's like you could really feel like they're invested outside of the ring, like they're friends, like they're real legitimate friends. But it's almost like, I don't know, it's something a little more than you get from a regular team. And I don't know, it always makes me like, aw, like Heath and Rhino. It's like always super cute. But I'm there for it. I'm there for the storyline. Yeah.
I think that whole I Got Kids thing really put them over as a babyface team, and
definitely.
We're really cheering for them.
And it's funny because no matter how good they are, like babyface, like Rhino is still like a hard hitting guy.
Yeah.
So when he turns on the aggressiveness, it's like, oh yeah, he's super aggressive. But then it's like, oh look, it's Rhino.
He cares.
He cares.
So then we get a backstage promo. The Good Brothers are out there telling stories about their, their life on the road, and then the Rascals kind of like walk in and they don't want to hear the story. So the Good Brothers kind of like take offense to it.
I'm with the Rascals. Like, you guys are making you sound like you're old timers. They're like, yeah, remember that one time? And I'm just like, dude, seriously, like. You guys, like, not to throw in like BTE, but you guys were like the pun of a joke in like another episode in another organization. And like, I know they're doing the best they can. I'm waiting for them to bring the heat in. But I mean, come on, your debut, you almost slipped down the stairs. Like, you slipped down the rail. Stop acting like old guys. Get in the ring.
They were nervous.
Okay. Yeah, you know, like, I just want them to, wrestle. Like, they haven't really been doing that much. It's been a lot of promotional spots. And I want to see the characters develop after this stupid pay-per-view they had with Rocky. Like, I want to see how dumb they can really be with some of these characters, and I wouldn't mind seeing them in Wrestle House either. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, but I think this is building up to something, and we'll get to it. But before we go to the next match, we get
Can you stop?
No, that's gonna get played every time we go into Wrestle House. So we get one of the best cinematic matches in Wrestle House. So The Diener cousins,
You took
Jake and
my beer.
Jake
I'm
and
sorry.
Cody. Yeah, they're still looking for who took the beer. They've been thinking that it's been Larry D this whole time, so they've had enough. They're coming after Larry D and AC Romero, and we get an unenthused Tommy Dreamer going like, "It's match time."
Yeah, you know, he was like, I guess, like he was,
Yeah.
but it was just some of the stupidest thing. They're playing
Oh my
ping
God.
pong.
Yeah.
He falls on the couch. He's like, I'm on the couch, stupid, and it pokes him right in the eyes. It's like it was the dumbest thing. The ping pong in the mouth, and then like it come and shove it in his face. The bicycle bit, he was all dead
Oh
and
yeah.
just twitching. I give it up that
Yeah.
like they're huge, serious wrestlers in the ring, but they totally so like this whole bit was like genius. It was so
Yeah.
stupid. It
There
was
were
one of
so
the
many
cool. It
little
was one of the funniest things I've seen this year.
so many little tidbits where they made fun out of wrestling. Larry D is put up against a stage, and I believe it's Cody that no, I think it's
He's
Jake. Yeah,
he's
he's like,
running down.
yeah, he's running, and then AC comes in. He's like, "You have enough time to get out of the way." He's like, "No, I'm so blown out." And
Yeah,
then he's like, "Do you want me to move you?" He's like, "Yes." So then he like pulls him
as you
out.
hear the
Yeah,
running down the hallway like a small child.
yeah. But yeah, and then they fight in a bed. This reminded me of me and my brother being little kids watching wrestling and just fighting all over the
Yeah,
house, um dropping people on the bed, on couches and stuff. It was just so much fun. They did not take themselves serious at all, but it was comedy gold. I was laughing the whole time.
it was
This is
so
this
stupid.
has been like the best cinematic.
This was the best
n-
Wrestle House.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
um
like anything with Susie in it, it's kind of like when she gets a little more than a couple
yeah.
lines, it's pretty genius when you get her
Yeah.
involved because she changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah. And Susie did get involved because Larry and AC had a truce with Jake and Cody, and they broke it. So Susie
Don't
was
do
not
it.
happy, and
Don't do it.
the undead bride shows up. It cuts away. Tommy Dreamer is looking for the competitors because he's supposed to be the ref. And Susie's like, I'm not sure where they're at. And he opens the door and closes it, and he's like, well, I guess you're the winner. Raises her hand, and she has blood on her hands.
She's like, I think I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
What did you do? And why is there only blood on just a hand?
Yep.
It's like she force gripped somebody and there was a blood anywhere else. It was so stupid. And then what does Tommy Dreamer say? Like, I gotta go, I got the runs.
Yeah, that was like what? Okay. Yeah.
No
The,
sense.
this whole tidbit of Wrestle House right here sums up why Wrestle House is amazing. It was just pure comedy. Just fun.
Yeah, totally agree. I loved it. I enjoyed it.
So then we get Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus the Rascals, Dez and Wentz. This was built up from last week's locker room talk. There was some back and forth gone with them, so they were gonna settle it in the ring.
Yeah, I like the match. You know how I feel about Ace. I'm trying.
Mm,
He's a good wrestler, but I'm definitely a Rascals girl. I
yeah.
like the Rascals. They're just real cool guys, real laid back. So I like the build up to the end of the match. I like what's good, like kind of what's going to setting in stone, something happening. But yeah, no, this was definitely one of the better matches of the night.
hmm Yeah, Des was really good in this
Yeah,
match. I think he was the highlight. Just very smooth, very fast. Did his spots and cleanly. So yeah, the Rascals win,
yeah,
and we get the Motor City Machine Guns coming out, and
yeah. Sorry.
they they were impressed with the Rascals, and they're giving the Rascals another shot at the belts. So this is where I think the Good Brothers is going to come in involved because the
Yeah,
Good Brothers have been eyeing those championship belts. Now they felt that the Rascals disrespected them. I think we're gonna get Machine Gun and Gallows coming out there and you know
yeah.
bringing some misery to the treehouse.
I do like the Rascals. I don't know.
Yeah,
I see them maybe actually taking opportunity from them.
yeah, they're
Which
gonna.
would suck, you know what I mean? But the Rascals will be back up there soon
Yeah,
enough, and I don't think they're going to take it away from Machine. Machine Gun, no.
I think the Good Brothers have a good chance of getting those belts.
But I don't think it's going to be automatic. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If it was a three-way, they would ruin the Rascals. It would maybe the Rascals versus the Good Brothers, leading up to the Good Brothers going against Motor City.
Yeah,
because it would be a longer build for them to get to that point.
Yeah, I think the Good Brothers are just going to mess with the Rascals and cost them the opportunity. Then we'll have the Rascals versus the Good Brothers.
Yeah,
and eventually move on to Motor City versus the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
So then we have a segment with Rohit Raju, the new X Division champion, and TJP. TJP wants to challenge for the belt. I think just a couple of weeks ago, TJP was not taking Rohit serious. He was telling him to wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, and now he wants a shot at the belt. And Rohit's like, "Nope, you got to put on a mask." And then
this whole segment was so childish. It's like y'all in the same house, same area. I don't even know where they shot that one part of the segment when they were wrestling a Wrestle House. It's like a huge, like, I don't know, warehouse. Like, it's a huge warehouse.
It's Tommy Dreamer's home, supposedly.
That's a huge place.
Yeah,
why does he have a stage?
Like,
if that's his house, why does he have a stage?
He has a wrestling ring in the backyard too.
Yeah, so but you know what? The way this is built up, it was supposed to be kind of put in a mask, you put in a mask. Like it was dumb, but I mean, like it fits their characters. So it'd be an interesting match to see. They're both pretty good wrestlers. So
yeah, I like how Rohit just a couple of weeks ago was not taken serious by anybody.
Yeah,
he kept on wanting people to be his friend. Nobody wanted to be his friend.
Nope.
And now that he has the belt, they're all coming for him. And Rohit tells TJP, like, you're not next in line. Chris Bay still has an opportunity. So if you want an opportunity, you have to take this up with Chris Bay. So TJP's like, okay. So I think we're going to get a Chris Bay TJP #1 contender match, which leads us to...
No, don't do... Did you hear my fear?
No. Yeah, we go back to the Wrestle House. Talia versus Rosemary with Johnny Bravo as the special referee.
It was a quick match, but it was a good match, though. There was storytelling. She didn't want to hurt Rosemary. Rosemary was feeling some sort of way, and she was just like, and then she kind of crawled to the corner. And sorry, I'm just like, it was cute. It was cute. It was two friends kind of like in their feelings.
Yeah. Talia was a little bit mean in the beginning, calling her an emo girl. And like you said, it was just a little quick for me, but it was what you needed. It was just in order for it to close out the storyline. Talia does beat Rosemary. Rosemary's upset. Johnny Bravo said he was going to be fair from the beginning, so he does a fair count. And Rosemary's like, "Well, I guess you should be happy. You did what you said you were going to do." But then we get the surprise. Johnny Bravo proposes to Rosemary.
Dun, dun, dun. What did Melissa say? Oh, we get another wedding on Impact. Yeah.
Marcos for the wedding. But it's funny because Rosemary's like, "You do know I'm a demon," and then Johnny Bravo's like, "Well, that's what I like about you."
What'd she say? She said, "What is it? Fairsies Squaresies."
Yeah.
Yeah, she said Fairsies Squaresies. So yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of like cool, like I liked it. And then you have Kylie saying that, like, now can we get back to Impact, the gym or whatever, the inside Impact Zone or what it was?
Let's go back to the Impact Zone.
Impact Zone, which is like, it's like weird. It's like they're like on some transformal plane. Let's go back to Impact Zone. This is like a whole different dimension. Wrestle House.
I mean, in the first episode of Wrestle House, they tried leaving the house, and there was what was equivalent to sandworms from Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
so they couldn't leave. And I guess Talia had the power because once Talia said, like, "Yeah, let's go back to the Impact Zone," they magically teleported.
Well, it went lights out, but don't forget that Susie was all like, "Hey, like, yeah, wedding!" Like,
yeah, Susie was amazing on the out.
Awesome.
her and Kylie are the best. Like that little friendship that they have going on. It's so wholesome. But yeah, it's sad because is this the end of Wrestle House or is this only the end of Wrestle House season 1?
I hope it's just season 1. I kind of liked it. So
yeah.
All right.
So then we go to the Black Tie affair with Deonna Purrazzo.
She was throwing so much heat in that ring.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Grace coming out, throwing out heat. Everybody looking like they're ready to fight.
Yeah,
nobody's looking like it in Black Tie affair except for Deonna. I was like, okay.
And Kimberly also. But
Diana was a little like Diana was like over a 10.
well, I mean, she's the virtuosa.
Yeah.
But yeah, she says that all these people are scum around her, and like
Yeah.
she doesn't feel like they're worthy of being in any of her in her ring. So they weren't even allowed to come in the ring. They were told to stay outside. Um, yeah, I thought it was really good. It was some good promos being thrown out. Diana just talking about how she's pretty much the best. Jordan Grace comes out, like you said, and Jordan Grace threw some tea. Like she was
Yeah.
just like out there not taking anything back. She's wearing jeans. She made sure to wear jeans to ruin the black tie affair.
Mhm.
And then we get the first surprise. Tennille Dashwood is back.
Yep. And that was awesome because she came in and she was like, you don't know who I am. Let me introduce myself. And she's like, I know who you are because you haven't been showing up to work. That's what Jordan
Yeah,
Grace
yeah,
said. And I was like, damn, okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So it was definitely setting up a lot. We thought we were gonna like basically start to throw down. And as they're all getting like in the ring and things are about to happen, all of a sudden I
Yep.
hate you so hard.
All of a
So
sudden,
hard.
everybody from
It's
the
like the
Wrestle House.
like transport into the middle of the ring.
Yep.
You know how stupid this was?
But
This
it was
was
so good though.
Yeah, I mean, because it goes back to what we were saying, like, okay, so you know how like everybody complains about kayfabe and it's always broken. And we were just talking about this, but like it's not believable that much in a lot of organizations. But the fact that everybody's involved in this stupid storyline, like Deanna didn't question it,
No.
Tennille didn't question it, nobody questioned it. The men, everybody was there after that stupid clap heard around the world, and it was funny. And then they started kind of swearing up, and then Kylie, got everybody out of the ring, and it was just Susie and Kylie. And I kind of like how the women had a moment. And it's weird because we actually think about this. They didn't have a lot of matches tonight, the women's matches, but it felt like we weren't lacking in the women's division.
No.
And that's the crazy part is, and that's what I was talking about, how like BTE, there's not a lot of the, women's segments, how AEW doesn't have a lot of women's segments, WWE does have its fair share of promotions and vignettes with the women, but it's like, man, Impact had a very short match, but I feel like I didn't lose anything from any other character. We still saw Kylie. She brought up her chance for the belt. We saw Deanna. We saw Jordan. We saw, Tennille come back in. We saw Rosemary. And it was so many people we saw today. So it still feels like we didn't lack in the women's division. And it's crazy to say that.
Hello, Dublin 26.
What's up? What's up? Hey, hey.
And someone sending you kisses. Yeah, so no, I agree. This is the way you do a build up for something, because Tennille Dashwood came out challenging for the gold right away, and like Deanna Purrazzo was like, you don't just get to come in here, even though that's what she did.
Yeah,
she says you don't just get to come in here and jump the line. Jordan Grace takes offense to the fact that Tennille Dashwood thought she could just come in. So it feels like we're going to get some Jordan Grace, Tennille Dashwood storyline there. So that's already set up. There was hints between Kimberly and Deanna Purrazzo where Kimberly is buying her time. She's not really friends with Deanna, but she knows that if she stays close to her, then she's going to get an opportunity down the line to possibly challenge for the belt.
Or attack when she's weak.
Yeah. And then we get the number one contender come in, Kylie. Kylie comes in and automatically clears out that ring. She does some amazing super kicks. So she looks like
super kick was so good.
Yeah, and she was wearing her Jesus 11 sandals. So shout out to those to Kylie and her sandals. But yeah, she came out super dominant right there too. Then we got the Rosemary Talia thing where it kind of is coming to an end, but we'll see how that. Susie is her losing control and Su Yung coming back. Yeah. I mean, the women's division, we still got Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan causing havoc in the tag team division. Are we going to be getting tag team belts? Because the women's division and Impact are stacked, and the way that they're building storylines, it doesn't center around the same four people over and over. It is completely spread out, and it feels like they actually care about this division.
Oh yeah, and it's just one of, like I said, it's you don't always have to have matches. You can still story tell, and that's the whole point of it. Like if you can story tell, then you don't always have to throw them out there to the wolves all the time and potentially get them hurt. You know what I mean? Like just to sell something. So today was a great way for them to sell different characters. Like you said, there's so much story building being done. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do in the next couple of weeks. Have they announced their next pay-per-view? No, not yet, right?
Yeah, Bound for Glory. I think
Oh,
it's
okay,
coming
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Oh man, it's
So
around that time already.
yeah, it's
Dang.
coming around where things are going to start picking up. I know that we're getting close to it. WWE does their SummerSlam, and their storylines kind of go down a little bit until the build up for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But AEW and Impact are going
Kind of
full
full
force now.
swing, yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Next.
yeah. So we'll move on to the main event, which was the Impact World Championship. Eddie Edwards defending his belt versus Eric Young. This was surprising to me, the results.
Yeah, that was very short-lived.
Mm-hmm.
With Eddie having the belt, after everybody saying like, "Oh crap," then no one thought he was gonna, win the belt. Um, yeah, I know Eric Young's history and Impact, his history with WWE, blah blah blah, and but it felt like there was no story really, besides the fact they were all in that, what was a 3-4-way whatever match that they were
Yeah.
for the belt. It didn't feel like there was a build up to it, so I wasn't that as invested, which is once again going back to what I say, they have this great storytelling, this great investment with the women's division of Impact, but the men's is kind of lacking in just the development of their characters, the storytelling between their characters. They need to take a little time and just worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not put too many matches in a night and just kind of focus on 3 or 4 and just have
Yeah.
more storytelling and development on that. Yeah, because I was kind of like, I don't know, I was more hyped for the last segment than I was going into this segment. So that's how I felt.
I think that's why they took it away from Eddie. It was great for the people that have been following Impact for a long time that Eddie Edwards won the belt again. But I think having a heel champion like Eric Young, having it could give you more storylines, especially since you do have a lot of babyface male talent. I know they've been stumbling ever since the whole Tessa Blanchard incident that happened. They've been stumbling to get their footing back in the Impact World Championship. And I do agree because honestly, I'm more invested in the Moose EC3 TNA belt, which is what happened after this match. After Eric Young surprises everybody and beats Eddie Edwards, we see Moose looking for EC3 who stole his belt last week. And he finds a map with a knife pointed somewhere. I think it was New York or Boston. I'm not sure, but I believe that's the that's the place where the next pay-per-view is taking.
But for a second, I had to say he went Charlie Day with that, like, where it was just like, and this means this.
Yeah.
Like it was literally like all I thought when I saw that board was Always Sunny, and like I didn't mean to laugh. And I'm saying I take EC3 all seriousness in his character and what's going to be built up between him and Moose, so that's really cool. But I couldn't stop, like in my mind, like I was just like, I need to laugh because I literally see Charlie Day pointing at the board, like, you see this? Okay, anyway, sorry, but no, it was a good build up. I didn't check my watch because I was like, man, it's gonna end a couple minutes early. And then when they showed that little vignette part like that, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Because I'm like, we didn't see EC3 all night, and never mind. He's smart. He knows to get himself in at the end or the beginning.
Yeah, so I wonder if EC3 is going to destroy the TNA belt because I think the thing that Impact has been trying really hard to do is get rid of all the dirty baggage that they've had because of the TNA brand. Yeah. So they've rebranded themselves as just Impact. For the people that know what TNA stands for, it was a derogatory term that they were just kind of like, we're done with that.
Yeah, it didn't. Nobody ever said total nonstop action.
No. Yeah.
And if you did, then maybe you're one of the few lucky ones that actually has, some class. But a lot of people that I know did not say it that way. But I'm looking forward to the match. So it was a decent night. The women, I think the women ran away with the night today. Even the small points they had, it was just, it's so good to see them. I love them. Susie. Yeah. Chicago girl.
Yep. So yeah, it was a good episode. We'll see how it did. I don't really care about the actual ratings. I know that NXT was running its show today. But the thing about Impact that I like, it's just it takes you away from the back and forth between AEW versus WWE.
Yeah, so shame on Impact. I mean, shame on NXT for having it on the same night as Impact.
Yeah, they could have had it
Already
on Thursday.
Yeah, like I have my loyalty already. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So, anyways, we all knew how that last match was going to end, and we weren't surprised. So, but we'll get into that on Friday.
Yeah.
When we review all of WWE for the last week.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with our Dynamite
Yep.
and our lead into All Out.
All Out. Yeah, man, I can't believe All Out already.
We should have been there. We could have been there.
Yeah.
Dang it, world. Dang it.
But we will be at the
Warrior
Warrior
Wrestling.
Wrestling. So that's gonna
And
be
if you
fun.
haven't checked it out and you're in the Chicagoland area, if you like these good people you see on Impact and some of the AEW and New Japan talent, hey, check out their card. Very affordable, very safe, very distance on the football field.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was a great show. We're not just saying it because we're from Chicago. It was a damn good show. And there's so many great people. Thunder Rosa, Kylie.
I'm super excited to see them again. So that'll wrap up our very first Impact review, and hopefully we'll be doing this weekly. I know that there's a couple of Impact fans out there, so hopefully they'll find us eventually.
Eventually, it's going to be a slow build. It'll get there.
Yep.
Slow build.
All right.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.